I want to mention 3 insights that led to our platform. The first was a text-based adventure on Khan Academy, which challenged the community to solve a cryptography challenge together. And the results were incredible. A massive amount of peer-to-peer collaboration deep in the comment threads, providing not only technical help and assistance, but also moral support to get through the challenge. It blew everyone away, and it's something we could not have created as employees to assist these users with using content. It could only be done through the community. And this made me realize that community is always an afterthought in online learning. Something like, we'll put a message board at the end, is really state of the art. And it's just a huge missed opportunity putting community second. The second insight is more common. Working with Pixar to create Pixar in a Box, we knew that the best way to structure the course was not around what we want to tell you and maybe what you'll do to demonstrate what you learned, but instead start with what you will do, in this case, create your own story, and then we laid in what we need to tell you to get you there. Very much a project-based mindset. And it was incredibly successful and led to an experience that really puts the user in the driver's seat. The third insight came after we started our company, which was an attempt to connect young people to their futures as young as possible. And when we work with companies such as Epic Games to create learning content for their platform, it became rapidly clear that with YouTube and AI, any kind of telling-based content you create will be rapidly obsolete. For example, an Unreal Engine tutorial you create will never be as good as what a million 14-year-olds will do next month. And so we put these 3 ideas together with an analogy. Pixar in a Box was a series of videos that walked you through how Pixar makes their film. It is like a window into Pixar. And we thought, what if we created a platform that allowed people to walk pathways as a learning experience? Something that mimics what happens in the real world. And so instead of telling, we put doing first, and instead of content, we put community first. And so it led to this kind of model where a platform that would start with what you will do, follow with how community will support that doing, and then laying in the bare minimum content needed to complete that journey. Here's the napkin sketch for the platform. So any course would begin with, what's the industry recognizable prototype you will walk out with and exhibit at the end? And like an industry, every prototype requires many steps of iteration to get there. And so we would have to define a series of work in progress deliverables the users would upload before their final product. And most critically, after each upload, that work would go off to the community to get notes from peers around the world, which is exactly what a remote company would kind of look like. And so the content of the platform is very much the process, and then a layer of live check-ins with pros, which could be done at scale. And so with Story Xperiential, the prototype we chose was a story reel, which is the way industry prototypes their films in the world of animation. And in this case, we defined 8 steps to get you to that final deliverable. Again, these steps mimicking what we see in industry. At each step, you submit your work for notes from users. For example, the first step in this program is to come up with a what-if statement for a film idea, which is a single sentence and an image for what your story might be. And of course, we provide the learning content you'd expect, always from professionals. But most important, below the deliverable is a submission button where users upload their work in progress into a gallery. Now, before accessing a gallery, we have a key mechanic, which is users must give feedback to 3 or 4 other projects to unlock the gallery and continue. Once they do this, the gallery opens up and users can see all of the other user work in the program that is being created alongside them. And this is where we encourage users to continue to explore, because we see not only motivation, but also users helping each other with technology, their stories, their concepts, just an amazing amount of peer-to-peer learning. Basically, what was buried in the comment thread on Khan Academy in that experiment is now front and center for this program. This is where the majority of the learning happens. This is also what makes the program so sticky, because our algorithm ensures no user is ignored. Every user gets an audience in our program. And so that's a step, and this pattern continues. And at every step, you're going through this feedback and iteration cycle with the community, providing you both help and moral support along this journey. The last piece we then added, of course, was a live stream feature where pros continuously check in on the entire user base and take questions and live chat from the audience along the way. This completes with a public exhibition we run 3 times a year, where users upload their work, vote on each other's projects, and every single user ends with a final page to feature their work. This makes it real, and it also provides a critical deadline users need to finish. And the results were astounding. In our first year with over 5,000 participants over 50 countries, we saw a near 90% completion rate, which proved we could create a cohort-based experience at scale. And when we looked at our testimonials, we saw again and again, users wanted it to go on and on. It was because of the community and support they got throughout the program. And we were proud to see that users in our first year used their final projects to not only get into film school, but also just change their entire mindset of what they were capable of when they had the supportive community around them. And so we think this model could be applied to anything as long as you can do 2 things. Define a final deliverable for the course and break that deliverable into a series of work in progress deliveries that more or less mimic industry. So for example, we are imagining a video game experiential next where everyone walks out with a game that has of course been tested all along the way, and a business experiential where everyone would come out not only with a business idea, but also their first few customers who have been trying the product from its inception. And so we think this creation-based and community-first mindset to course design is a big unlock and even more relevant looking into the future of online learning.